Environmental change has profound effects on the distribution of organisms, reshaping ecosystems, and influencing the survival and reproduction of species. Changes in the environment, whether driven by natural processes or human activities, can alter the physical and biological conditions of a habitat. These changes can include shifts in temperature, precipitation patterns, land use, and the availability of resources like water and nutrients. As a result, organisms that were once well adapted to a particular environment may find the altered conditions less favorable, leading to changes in their distribution. For example, as global temperatures rise due to climate change, many species are moving toward the poles or to higher altitudes in search of cooler conditions. This shift can disrupt existing ecosystems, as new species enter areas where they previously did not exist, potentially outcompeting native species. In other cases, species unable to migrate or adapt to the changing conditions may face extinction. Similarly, changes in precipitation patterns can transform wetland areas into drylands or vice versa, forcing species that rely on specific moisture levels to relocate or perish. Human activities, such as deforestation and urbanization, also contribute to environmental change by destroying or fragmenting habitats, further influencing the distribution of organisms. The water cycle plays a crucial role in this dynamic, acting as a key component in the continuous recycling of water on Earth. The water cycle, or hydrological cycle, involves the movement of water through various states and locations, including the atmosphere, surface water, groundwater, and oceans. Water continuously moves through these reservoirs via processes such as evaporation, condensation, precipitation, infiltration, and runoff. The cycle begins with the evaporation of water from the Earth's surface, primarily from oceans, lakes, and rivers, driven by the heat of the sun. Water vapor then rises into the atmosphere, where it cools and condenses into clouds. Eventually, this water returns to the surface as precipitation in the form of rain, snow, or other types of moisture. Depending on the conditions, precipitation can either infiltrate the ground, replenishing groundwater supplies, or flow over the surface as runoff, returning to rivers, lakes, and oceans. The endless recycling of water through the water cycle is vital for maintaining life on Earth. It ensures that water, a finite resource, is continually renewed and distributed across different regions, supporting diverse ecosystems. For example, the water cycle regulates the availability of fresh water, which is crucial for all living organisms. Plants rely on water from precipitation and soil moisture to grow, while animals need access to fresh water for drinking and other physiological processes. The cycle also helps to maintain the Earth's climate by redistributing heat around the planet through processes like evaporation and condensation. Environmental changes can disrupt the water cycle, further impacting the distribution of organisms. For instance, climate change can lead to more intense and frequent droughts, reducing the availability of fresh water in certain regions. This can force species that depend on consistent water supplies to migrate or adapt, altering the composition of ecosystems. Conversely, increased rainfall in other areas might lead to flooding, which can also displace species and change the landscape. In summary, environmental change significantly affects the distribution of organisms by altering the conditions of their habitats. The water cycle plays a fundamental role in this process, continuously recycling water and ensuring its availability across the globe. However, changes in the environment, particularly those driven by human activities, can disrupt the water cycle and further influence the distribution and survival of species, underscoring the intricate connection between the environment and the organisms that inhabit it.